All right, everybody, back with a brand new Friday review here on the Cabral Concept. Can't wait to get into today's show because we've got a brand new protocol debut that I want to share with you. An ancient Ayurvedic remedy for congestion, nasal congestion, and cold-based symptoms. I've talked about it before, but it's been years, so I'm going to share with you my experience being over in India and actually going through this particular technique, which helped remarkably. And then I'm going to go over some research, both on cancer. One we want to stay away from, one we want to move more towards. So we'll talk about that, cancer prevention in both regards. But before we do, we always do our recap. One thing I have to share with you though, is that if you are not an email subscriber at stevencabral.com or an SMS text subscriber at Equilife, I can't recommend it enough. And the reason is that you would have saved about 50% on the food sensitivity test this week. That's the most popular at-home lab test in the world. And I just want to make sure you get access to all of these great deals. They are private deals. And by the time we get to the Friday review, sometimes they're gone. So email list is simple. It's just stevencabral.com. You can scroll to the bottom, enter your name, or just enter your email, or I believe it's stevencabral.com/newsletter. At most, you're going to get basically one email per week. And I've been sending out emails since about 2004. So I've been doing this a long time. I'm not there to spam you, of course. I just share with you some hopefully great tips that you can use and some of my favorite products that I use every single day. That's it. Some great reviews and some tips. All right. And then the SMS over at Equilife is just equa.life/SMS or equa.life/text. Okay, so let's dive right into the show. I always do a recap to begin, and that is on episode 3181. So if you didn't check out Monday's show, the most important understanding of your life. So this is a big one, and this is one of my favorite overall philosophies, is the philosophy of what you do today dictates your tomorrow. So I share this dichotomy of hard and easy, hard and easy, hard and easy, easy and hard, and how they relate to each other, but basically as opposites based on what you do in the here and now. So check out that all these shows are at stevencabral.com/podcast. All right, Tuesday's show was be aware of this at-home lab test. So you know I'm a huge proponent of functional medicine. Functional medicine literally saved my life. Had I not run any functional medicine labs, I would never know about my candida overgrowth, my SIBO, my food sensitivities, my H. pylori. I wouldn't have known about Addisons disease. I wouldn't have known about all of these issues that I had. So I'm a huge proponent. However, whenever anything becomes more mainstream and popular, there are also people who put profits above people instead of people above profits. I share with you one of the only at-home lab tests I'm not a fan of. And you can check that out, again, at stevencabral.com/podcasts. That was episode 3182. On Wednesday's show, we go over a head-to-head Whoop strap versus Oura Ring, who wins and why, judged over 5 categories. All right, and then yesterday's show was the FDA's ruling on unavoidable heavy metals found in food and what you should know about that and what you can do for you and your family. All right, that was episode 3184. Let's dive into today's show. All the show note links, including all the research, will be at stevencabral.com/3185. All right. What I want to do right now is go through a brand new product debut. It's been available as 2 individual units. And now what we do is what we try to share with people is protocols, not just products. So we've got the CBO protocol for your gut, heavy metal protocol for heavy metals, parasupport protocol for parasites. We've got the mold protocol for detoxing mold, the intestinal cleanse for constipation, for all sorts of different issues. There are proven protocols that we've been using in our practice for about 15 years now. So this latest one is called the Daily Detox Protocol. Of course, if you're watching this on video, you can see me holding this up. If not, I'm going to explain it to you. This is a product that was born out of all of the issues that we have now, but even to a greater degree since we started our integrative health practice many years ago. So we used to do, and still do, the functional medicine detox every 12 weeks. It's the number one thing we do in our practice for opening up liver detox, kidney detox, drainage pathways, and much more. So it's phenomenal, and it really works. I mean, literally, I think we're the only company that guarantees that these things work. So we guarantee our protocols. We absolutely guarantee them. And we have something called an empty bottle money back guarantee, meaning like use it, see if it works. It will work for you. So why come up with a daily detox protocol? Well, the reason is that every year we learn more about what? Microplastics, PFAS, polyfluorinated alkyl substances. We learn more about additional heavy metals in our food, like the FDA ruling of unavoidable heavy metals. We learn about the pollution and all of the toxicity out there, the bromines that I talk about. So what this does, it's a low level protocol that you can use every couple months or even on a daily basis. But really, protocols, these are nice words, daily detox protocol, but what does it include? Well, it includes the daily detox support. So what is that? Well, it's vitamin C and selenium. It's L-glutamine, N-acetylcysteine, glycine, taurine, alpha-lipoic acid, L-carnitine, L-methionine, and then an Ayurvedic herbal blend of chlorella, milk thistle, grapeseed extract, dandelion roots, scandra fruit, Chinese skullcap root extract, barberry root, ginkgo leaf extract. And then it has artichoke leaf extract, beetroot, bladderwrack, raspberry leaf, and bioperine. So what this does is it helps with phase 2 liver detoxification. If you've never heard about that before, I have a free course. It's at stephencabral.com/courses. Simply head on over to that page, click on the detox one. That one is free. That's how important it is. So this opens up your body's ability to take these fat-soluble toxins, convert them to water-soluble toxins, and remove them harmlessly through urine or stool or even sweat. But it's also paired with a binder, but not just any binder. This is a low histamine, easy to use binder called the universal binder. Really simple as well. Sodium bentonite clay, humic acid, apple pectin, a coconut-based activated charcoal, taurine, fulvic acid, TUDCA, and bamboo shoot extract, which is that silica. And so this helps to bind up any of these toxins that are brought to the gut as well. So really powerful. Again, you can use this on a daily basis if you'd like, or this 2-month supply, you could use it for 1 month, take a month off, do another month, or do 2 months at once and take a month off if you choose to. So this is what enables you on a daily basis to be able to continue to remove these toxins. Simply take the 3 binders if you'd like upon waking or before bed, and you could take the 2 capsules of the daily detox support at any meal you choose. All right, so that is it. I can't link this up, unfortunately, because whenever you talk about nutritional supplements and their ability to help heal the body, it's actually not allowed by the FDA. Lo and behold, what happens when 75% of an organization's money comes from the pharmaceutical industry, they have their own rules, right? But you can find it by going to stephencabral.com/shop. That'll take you right over to Equalife, and you can just type in daily detox protocol. All right, let's go over our quick tip of the week. And of course, if you have any questions, just pop them in the comments below. We are here to help. So when I was on my second trip to India, I went to a city called Mysore, Mysore, I believe it's spelled. It's about halfway up in the middle of India. And I was with a amazing doctor there who's actually a medical doctor, but originally from India, and also specialized when he came back in Ayurvedic medicine. So combining Western medicine, essentially, let's call it, I would say functional to a degree, but basically I think his background's in cardiology, and really just went all in though on Ayurvedic medicine. And he had a beautiful clinic, really great staff, great team. I was there to intern with him specifically in pulse-based diagnosis, but we went through all of Panchakarma. I had been through Panchakarma before, but I always want to learn from other practitioners. I try to always keep an open mind. And one of the things that we really did was work on sinus, ear, nose, and throat. And so we did something called a steam inhalation. And so sometimes you use nausea, sometimes you do, I won't even talk about the nasal flossing, but essentially what we did, and this is something that anybody can do, is that you boil a big pot of water, okay? And then what you're gonna do is you're gonna put in anywhere from 3 to 5 drops of eucalyptus oil. So ideally, we boiled eucalyptus leaves, but you could just use organic essential eucalyptus oil, and that would be fine. And what you're going to do is you're going to put a towel over the steam. Don't put your face too close to the steam. And you're going to just gently, very gently breathe in the steam. Now, again, remember, steam can burn. So you have to do this carefully. And so again, I'm not giving you medical advice, medical cures, medical treatment plans, or medical diagnosis. But you can make as big or a little bit of a pocket of air to be able to breathe in. But as you allow that steam to come into your nasal passages, you will feel a tremendous drainage from the sinuses that are above your eyebrows and below your eyes. And that eucalyptus helps open that up as well. But not only that, the eucalyptus, the vapor, the gas itself is able to be absorbed through the capillaries, through the nasal passages too, which is calming. It's relaxing for the vagus nerve or your nervous system, and it's unbelievable for opening up those sinus passages. So if you ever feel yourself congested, can't really breathe, looking to help with drainage, especially as you're coming into this fall and winter, definitely may want to check that out. How long do you need to do it for? Just 5 to 10 minutes. That's it. It's also a phenomenal facial as well. It opens up all those pores in your face. So definitely check it out. It is a great one that I like to use as needed for my family and in my practice. All right, let's go over the research for the week. And again, any questions, always go to cabralsupportgroup.com. It's free to join, and it is all community-based. So any questions you have, you just feel free to ask. You're missing a podcast, you'd like to see if you can find out some information, we're happy to help you with that. Okay, so we've got a big one here. This is out of the New England Journal of Medicine, which we talk about all the time, right? And this one is on data collected on alcohol and cancer research from the International Agency for Research on Cancer. Okay, there's that Boston accent coming out right there. Every once in a while, it slides out. Okay, so recent findings. People who cut out or reduce their alcohol have lower risks of colorectal and female breast cancer, as well as oral, laryngeal, and esophageal-based cancers. Here's why. When the liver metabolizes alcohol, it produces acetaldehyde. More acetaldehyde in the body increases the risk for certain cancers by causing DNA, basically mutations, DNA damage, for certain cancers that eventually becomes permanent and leads to mutated cells, including cancer cells. The benefits of substantially cutting down or stopping alcohol use accrue only if alcohol consumption is not resumed. All right, I want to break down that study just a little bit. So in the past, I've shared with you about 2 drinks maximum per a week per women, 3 drinks maximum per week for men. That's pretty well established now. When the FDA Council got together, it was recommended that there would be no acceptable limit of alcohol. That was the doctors. Those were all the experts' recommendations. However, based on the government and all of their, we'll call it this way, lobbyists, they did not adhere to that. So they said, oh, a drink or 2 per night is okay. It's actually not. So if you're really looking at health, that amount would equate to what? 7 to maybe 14 glasses per week? No. What is really looked at, research, 2 to 3 glasses total per week. That's it. That's what we're looking at. Anything more than that starts to increase cancer. Now, will you get cancer from drinking alcohol? Who knows? Like, nobody knows. Nobody exactly knows if you're going to, because there's so many other factors in the body that play into whether alcohol will affect you or not. But what it does say is this, is that limited to 2 to 3 drinks per week, ideally just 1 night per week or 1 day, or actually, believe it or not, the more time before bed, the less it affects your sleep. But what I'll share with you is this, is that you can't go and binge for weeks at a time and then stop for a month and then weeks at a time. It shows in this study in particular as well that the damage starts to accumulate, and the more alcohol that you consume, even if it's up and down, up and down, up and down, it actually still catches up with you. All right. So I wanted to share that with you. I'm not trying to be here to be the bearer of bad news. Have a drink every once in a while. If you choose to have a drink, enjoy it, relax with friends, but at the same time, maybe look into non-alcoholic based varieties. All right. This next one is on the other side of the spectrum. I always like to end with a high note here. This was done on 22,000 adults, led by researchers at the University of Sydney, Australia, all of our friends over in Australia, and it is published in JAMA Oncology. So basically, JAMA's Journal for just cancer, oncology. All right. So it shows that even small amounts of exertion lower cancer-based risk. Okay. This is so important because as we get older, we start to move our bodies less. But this shows just even small amounts. So among people ages 62 and older, right? So 62 and older who are not exercisers, just 3.5 minutes of vigorous activity per day in 1 minute bursts, such as climbing up and down a flight of stairs, was linked to 18% lower risk for new cancer diagnosis over the 7 years, compared with people who did not do any vigorous activity. Adding just another minute's worth of activity boosted that cancer reduction to 32%. All right, so let's break this down now. I mean, this is impressive. Let's go back. So 32%, all right, 32% for 3.5 minutes. And if you add one more minute, another minute worth, so 4.5 minutes total, you got 32%. All right, so 3.5, 18%. If you want 32, reduce your cancer risk by a third, by 4.5 minutes of activity. That's it. So what can you do? Well, you might want to keep it really boring. Honestly, like that's what I tell people, get boring. So my nutrition nowadays is so boring. It really is. It's so boring. I basically eat pretty much the same thing for breakfast, so my breakfast meal, I'll just call meal one, my lunch, my pre-workout, and then my dinner. That's it. Like, it's so boring. My dinner every night is different because my wife's always cooking something new and it's great and I love it. And then the weekends can be a little bit different. But Monday through Friday, it's just locked in. It's boring. Why? So that it's always there. I know that what I'm getting, I know my macros, I know my fiber, I know all the things that I need, my protein and exercise. I have an exercise sheet. This is what I do on Monday. This is what I do on Tuesday. This is what I do on Wednesday. And I literally check the boxes. I go through it. So I don't need to come up with new things all the time because that's just more stress in the brain. So the same thing has to be, if you just want 4.5 minutes, think about this. You might just time yourself in your house. You're 62 and over, but start now. Find the stairs in your house. How long does it take you to walk up and down the stairs? So let's say you go all the way to the top, all the way to the bottom, and it takes you 30 seconds. Okay, good. So you're going to do that twice. So you get 1 minute. Up and down, boom, that's 1 minute. How many times more do you need to do that? 4 more times. It's 5 minutes total, reduces your cancer risk by 33%, 32%. I mean, that's pretty remarkable, right? So like, get boring with it and just set a timer. Oh, alarm's going off on my phone, 8 a.m., 11 a.m., 3 p.m., 5:30 p.m. or so. You know, that's 4 times a minute. It's 4 minutes. Maybe get another 30 seconds in there. So like, that's it. That's all you need to do. Walk up and down the stairs for 60 seconds for a minute. Now you can do other things, of course. You can do rebounding, you know, like jumping up and down. You can do whatever it is that you want, but it just needs to be getting that heart rate up. Like, it has to be somewhat vigorous. So that's why they talk about stair climbing. And for me, the trade-off for sharing that in my practice to somebody, for having to do 1 minute worth of, you know, real activity, the trade-off for reducing cancer by 32%, I don't know. That seems like a great trade-off. So that's one of my top tips right there. Hopefully this was helpful. If you want to go deeper into the research, I'm going to be linking up here everything that you need at stevencabral.com/3185. Have an amazing weekend. I will be back tomorrow answering all of our community's questions. Take care, everybody. Thanks so much for tuning into today's show. Before you go, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. I want to make sure that you're getting our daily content, not missing out on anything. Functional medicine, wellness, weight gain, weight loss, anti-aging, living longer, stronger, and all of the most cutting-edge research. And if there's any topics you want to hear, feel free to leave them in the comments below. Take care.